Is the woke coming for The Witcher? New interview audio from Henry Cavill on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast suggests that yes, it is. But before we get to that, remember to like the video, share it with your friends on social media, and please do consider subscribing to the channel. It's one of the best ways to help a new creator like myself on YouTube reach a wider audience and compete against large companies like the CBS's and Netflix's of the world. And now, onto the video.
So second season for this, and as I alluded to early in our conversation, this was a property that meant a lot to you, something you chased. Must be so gratifying that the audience responded and you get a second crack at it to continue this character. What are the lessons learned for you from the first slew of episodes that you're applying to this next batch?
What are the lessons I've learned?
Or is it simply just an opportunity, like obviously the advantage of an ongoing story is fleshing out the world, fleshing out the character, more time to let it breathe?
That's interesting. We get a really, really long, pregnant pause there whereby the interviewer has to really prompt Cavill to respond. Strange. Let's listen in more.
I mean, yes. I mean, again, I'm a carriage on this train, and it's about finding my character's place within the overall vision of the showrunner.
It's about finding my character's place in the vision of the showrunner? The show is called The Witcher. The show is about The Witcher. At least, it's supposed to be, right?
The showrunner has a particular vision for the show and for the characters in the show. And I don't know if you've read the books, but the books, certainly the first few, there's very much from a Geralt perspective. And so with the shift of the showrunner's vision, where it's an ensemble cast more so than a singular lead, and the perspective is shifted to be almost more of a Cirilla Yennefer perspective. And so it's about finding my character's place within that vision and making sure that I do everything I can to be as faithful to the source material as possible that I can be within the structure set out for me.
Whoa. Wait a minute. What? The show is shifted to not be from the Witcher's perspective? Even though, to Cavill's point, the books were from Geralt's perspective. And the showrunner has shifted this to the perspective of the two women instead of the Witcher? And he has to find a way to be as faithful as possible within that structure? That doesn't sound like a very faithful rendition of the source material now, does it?
And so, I mean, obviously I want to be a loyal soldier, and I want to make sure the train keeps on running. I'm not going to derail the whole thing. It's about making sure I play my part in it, but also maintaining my love and belief for the fantasy and the books and indeed the game.
So Cavill thinks that he has to be a loyal soldier. And yet somehow he's got to get faithful portrayals of the books and the games? Now you got to remember that this genre is who this guy is. Cavill is a fan, first and foremost. And he's telling us right now that we are not getting what we were expecting.
Yeah, it's about finding that place in there where I can do both. I can help the showrunner realize their vision and also bring everything I can from the books and from that psychopathic, like, loyalist nature of mine into my own personal character.
Help! I'm being held prisoner in a Chinese bakery. And facepalm. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to read much between the lines to hear what Cavill's trying to tell us. This show has gone off the rails. It's gone woke as hell. And Cavill is most likely locked into some kind of contract that would cost him a hell of a lot of money to back out of this. He talks about his own psychopathic adherence to lore and his love of the character. And frankly, he's talking about how the vision of the show doesn't match those things. This is a guy screaming in whatever way he can, trying to warn the fandom Menace about what is coming for us in The Witcher Season 2. I'll tell you what, I enjoyed the Season 1 of The Witcher. It was a good show. I'd never played the games. I'd never read the books. I went into it completely fresh, and I found a very good show that I could enjoy with a lot of action, a lot of genre. It was really my kind of thing. And I'll tell you what, hearing this interview, I can't say I'm particularly excited to catch Season 2 of The Witcher. I don't know. Maybe I'm jumping at shadows, maybe I'm not. But with what we've seen from successful shows in Season 1, stepping into their Season 2 and going full-on woke, I can't say that I'm particularly optimistic after hearing what Henry's got to say here. Well, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you've listened this long, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends on social media, and please consider subscribing to the channel. It's one of the best ways to help a new creator on YouTube like myself reach a wider audience and compete against the large corporations like your Netflixes and your CBSs of the world. Thank you again, and I'll catch you on the next video.